Hi everybody, Mario here, spokesperson, representative, the law firm of Martinez and Cressman, your DR Legal Shield. Now online, a lot of times people want to know when you go out for dinner and you get the 10% lay. We all know there's an 18% tip and there's 10% lay. Lay is just the word they use to hide the fact that it is a mandatory tip. Now, you have a lot of waiters and a lot of people have put out stories about this stuff where they say, oh, we're not getting the tip, we're not getting the tip. That is the business owner's problem, because you are being charged a mandatory tip, regardless of service, of 10%. Within the month, every month, that owner is supposed to distribute that with everyone that works in the restaurant, with the exception of the cook, from what I understand. Everybody else is supposed to get that split between all of them. Obviously, the waiter wants some cash for themselves, and they're gonna tell you the tip's not included, or there's no tip, and if they see you and you look like a foreigner, they're gonna be like, they don't know what it is, because the word lay is a tricky word. They should have named it propina, which is a tip. But they're supposed to do that by law. Just like every restaurant, by law, if they're not evading taxes, should be charging 18% tax and 10% propina ley. Now, a lot of you guys that are watching this, if you're in the North Coast and you're still going to the mom and pop, so they tell you pay me in cash and we won't put the 18 or whatever, that's not the norm. It is and it's not. It's not the new norm. Only about 18% of businesses in this country are registered. So those of us that are registered are paying the taxes for the other 80-something% that are not. But when you go to the major cities, so Santiago, Santo Domingo, Punta Cana, and those kind of places, those are legit businesses. They don't want problems with impuestos internos, and they do it by the books. They charge you the taxes. They pay their propina to the workers. So don't let anybody tell you that that's not a tip. It is a legal tip. It is customary here, sadly, that you have to get asked to put extra tip. So whenever you see a menu bill in those restaurants, in most restaurants in the major cities, you're gonna be paying the 28%, and if you add a little bit of cash, you're at 30%, usually 32%, depending on what you leave, even 38% if you're generous, on top of the bill, on top of the price of the menu that you see. So if something costs you $1,000, you're paying $12.80, $13 and change if you're leaving the extra cash tip. But it is a tip by law, which they're legally required to pay to their workers. If not, the workers can sue, and 9 out of 10 times here they do win, because Dominican Republic has very strong pro-worker labor laws. And that's a fact. If you know, I know attorneys that are super successful. All they do is handle work cases, and they win most of the time, which is the reason why they put up the money for these people to start the case, because they have such a high percentage of wins in the Fiscalía. I hope that helps, and I hope now you know what the 10% is for.
This is your boy Mario Fama, RD, a.k.a. yo soy blanco, pero no soy banco.